the conversations are gold,
I like pre-combo, man. You know how I do it on Cradle to the Grave, guys. I hit the record button before anything, and then I get all the bullshit. I like the bullshit.
Exactly. I like that.
Like that time you jump scared us with the vampire fangs. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Missed opportunity.
You always should have some handy nearby like I do.
Nice.
How do you gut someone? Always trust my gut.
Hello and welcome to Gutted. I'm Elise.
And I'm Tony, and we're here to spill our guts about horror films.
And today we are talking about all things vampires. We have another Desert Island Showdown for you all, and it is our blood-sucking vampire edition. And luckily, we have a vampire expert today. We have Erik Hanson from Cradle to the Grave podcast with us because he knows, I think, pretty much every vampire movie out there. More than us. I'm just going to read your synopsis that you have on your podcast that we know and love. So you said that as long as you can remember, you have loved horror and horror movies and horror novels, horror comics, and your life's milestones can be measured by that genre. It's given you years of entertainment and as well as countless sleepless nights. It has kept you young at heart and filled your mind with wonderful memories that you cherish. This podcast is a way of sharing those moments with everyone. So starting with your birth year of 1971, you listed your top 10 horror films of every single year of your life and discussing each one in detail with a little help from your friends.
With a little help from my friends. Like that Beatles song. Yes, that's it, man. That is Cradle to the Grave in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I talk about horror movies all day long with awesome people like yourselves. Elise and Tony, you were some of the first people that I reached out to come on my podcast and talk horror movies with me. I think your first episode was, I want to say, Shivers.
Yes. I remember that.
75 or something like that. So you're OG, the original Gravediggers.
Yeah.
We're wearing the pins. So for those, we do YouTube and we do audio. So for those listening, we are wearing our Cradle to the Grave Gravedigger pins.
Yes. A design by my daughter, Paige. She drew that Gravedigger, and I print out buttons for people who've been on my podcast many times, which you have been many times. You guys
and we've loved it every time. It's been a blast talking horror movies. Kind of like, I feel like we've been on like maybe once a decade or maybe. Yeah. It's a nice little journey through the history of horror. And I imagine that you've probably, like, after revisiting all of these horror movies in order, have learned quite a bit about the progression of horror.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like, it has been really a cool journey. One that I didn't even realize was going to happen, that I actually get to see not in real time, but over the last 2 years, the evolution of the horror genre from 1971 to now. I'm right now I'm in 1998, almost done with the 90s. And seeing the progression, seeing like the 70s classics, The Exorcist, Halloween, and then seeing what was built on that in the 80s, right? When we get, Freddy and Jason and all those classic 80s films. And then here come the 90s. I remember you guys came on and talked about a movie from the 90s, and I was kind of telling you, like, I'm not really looking forward to the 90s. The 90s gets a bad rap. But I've been having a blast with these 90s films. Like, there's some really good horror films in the 90s. And I'm moving out of the 90s, and now I'm going into the 2000s.
Okay.
And so
may God have mercy on your soul.
May God have mercy on my Saw. Movies.
Exactly.
Nice.
So many Saw movies, and they're all coming my way. It's been really cool, man. This is a labor of love. I said many times, I don't get paid to do this. It is time consuming. I edit, I produce all this stuff. I contact every guest to come on. But I do it because I love the shit out of this.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting, awesome people that we have a shared interest, which is the horror genre, making friends with people, and then, just talking about a genre that is really dear to my heart. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And you're right. You have to have love for the genre and also for like talking about these movies and sharing, because you're right. It is a lot of work to create these podcasts, especially if you're just doing it as a labor of love, and as we are as well.
Yeah, are not in it for the money, because there is none.
But this is what it's all about.
There is
right
a little
here.
bit of money. Like I actually made some money from the podcast. I ran a couple ads sometimes, but it's barely enough to pay the website.
Hoping to get that latte one day.
Every little bit, yeah. But not just the horror movie genre, also the horror novel genre. We've recently received a copy of Erik's novel Death Machine, and I just finished part 1, and oh boy, not spoiling anything, but was not expecting some stuff. And I finished it, and Tony was sitting behind me, and I was like, holy shit.
Have you got to part 3 is the main bulk of the novel.
All right. I just finished part 1.
Okay. Yeah. Part 1 is it's the teaser, right? For the rest of the novel. But yeah, like the part 1 ends pretty gnarly.
Yeah. Yes, it did. And I'm just enjoying my tea in my Rambo cup. And I'm like, I love this character development. And then, whoa.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't mind spoiling it. So I was thinking of the movie Psycho with Janet Leigh, how when people went to originally go see Psycho, they're like, oh, Janet Leigh, she's a movie star. She's going to be in this whole film, right? She's the main attraction. They go see Psycho, and guess what? Janet Leigh's killed off in like the first 15 minutes. And people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it threw people. So my idea was, okay, I'm going to create this young kid, this character. And people, when they start Death Machine, oh, here's this young kid, Kevin. He's going to be the main guy. No, he's not the main guy. The main guy is a kid named RJ. When you get to the third part, Elise, that is basically my childhood. A lot of things that happened to RJ in the novel actually did happen to me. I did not encounter the Zodiac killer like RJ does. But the rest, most of the novel is a coming of age story that takes place in the 1980s during the Satanic Panic. It is me. And when you read it, Elise, you're going to be like, holy shit. This is Erik. I totally see it.
Okay, because as I was reading about poor little Kevin, I was like, oh, is part of this Erik? And so I'm glad to hear that RJ. I don't know RJ yet. I'll get there, but
you will.
Amazing.
Yes,
stuff.
no, Kevin is a completely made up character, which it was kind of like the incentive to get the ball rolling. So once I got that part 1 done, I'm like, okay, I can do this, because I'd never written a novel before. It's my first novel. I was like, I didn't know if I had it in me.
Yeah.
But after part 1, I'm like, I got this. I know where I want to do what I want to do now. Part 2 is a really short little segment that is a real life event that happened in Sacramento, where a couple was murdered on the side of the road.
Don't tell me, I'm not there yet.
Where's the spoiler alert?
Anyway, it will all tie together. I promise, Elise.
Okay.
Part 1 and 2 will tie together. When you get to the last chapter of Death Machine, you're going to be like, holy shit.
Okay.
And then the very, very last chapter.
Don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you, but I will tell you that I was bawling when I wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
I read it to my wife. She's my first reader, right? So after I get finished with it, I will read it to her. And when I read her the very last chapter of the book, I barely made it through because I had tears in my eyes, and it was really emotional. Okay. So, and it'll all make sense. Please let me know what you think when you're done with it.
Yeah, the thing too is that at least we'll have to read it and then not say a word about it, because then I have to read it. Yeah. And then once we both read it, then we can discuss it.
Yeah. And a little side note, I do love crying, especially about horror. I cried during The Exorcist like 3 times. So. I have a lot of feelings.
You know what? I don't know if I've ever cried during a horror movie. I'm sure there's been one where maybe, but you know what? I take that back. The Sixth Sense. When little Cole tells his mom about the grandma.
Yes. Cried.
Definitely cried.
She also cried during Ernest Scared Stupid.
I did. Okay, actually, yes, I did. I was about to say no, I didn't, but I did. When little rim shot turns into wood, that's sad. And Ernest
okay, spoilers.
Anyways,
okay, yeah, we could,
segue on 1998. There might be a little movie that we discussed with you in our bucket here. And,
yes.
And for today's episode, we have our Desert Island Blood-Sucking Vampire Island Showdown. That's not an official title.
Yeah.
But basically,
I like it.
We have 25 titles of different vampire films in this little purple jack-o'-lantern here. And what we will do is we will take turns selecting 2 films and pitting them against each other in like a death match kind of a way.
Yeah. So one gets to go to the island. The other one has to stay tossed in the ocean for shark food.
Vampire sharks. Yeah. So we'll start with Erik. And so he will choose his favorite of the 2 and we'll go in kind of like a little circle. So then I will go, then Tony will go. And we'll keep doing that. We will also end with you, Erik. So you'll get to go one extra time. And then at the end, remember that you will have a wild card. So any film that got discarded into the ocean or any film that's still left in the bucket, you can choose one of those to come back onto the island.
I like it.
Yep, back on your lifeboat. Yeah. So this is like Titanic, show no mercy kind of stuff.
And then in the end, we will end up with 13 awesome, sucky vampire films.
Sucky? No, these
in quotes. In quotes. That's my
Not
pun.
bad, just sucky as a verb.
Blood sucky. Exactly.
One of the main reasons why we chose you to be on this episode, Erik, is because, for our listeners, you are our vampire guy. Mm-hmm. And before we get into the game, we did want to know a little bit about how you came to love this subgenre.
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked, my friend. Any chance I get to tell people why I love vampires, I'm going to take it. And yes, so vampires has always scared me the most out of any type of monster. Frankenstein, zombies, werewolves, ghosts, slashers. The vampire is the one. And I know why. It's because as a kid, one of my worst fears was having a loved one, a family member, my mom, my dad, my sisters, one of them dying and then coming back to life to get me.
Ooh.
So not just dying, but coming back to get you.
Coming back to get me. And this goes back centuries. I mean, some of the most famous ghost stories, you go back to China, these Chinese ghost stories. It's always a loved one coming back from the dead to get the living. And vampires is that. Vampires is my folklore. Christopher Lee, Prince of Darkness, Horror of Dracula, those movies I watched as a young kid, that's my folklore. That's my ghost stories. That's what scared me as a kid. I would sleep, no joke. I would sleep with the covers over my neck after watching a Christopher Lee vampire movie because that shit was real. When I was 10 years old, that was real. He was going to scratch at the window that night. I knew it. And it was a thrill because I'd always wake up the next morning, not bitten by Christopher Lee. Right?
Check the neck every morning.
I would always wake up and I'd always want to do it again. Like a drug addict, I craved the next fix. Even though I knew this was not good for me or whatever, I was going to be scared.
Yeah.
I craved it. I couldn't wait to do it again. And you guys relate to that. That's why we love the horror genre, because that initial hit, that first hit of horror that scared you, that's what sucked you in. Mm-hmm. And you've been chasing that high ever since. We're still chasing it now.
Oh yeah.
Even with Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, I went in ready to chase that high. Yes, give it to me, Robert Eggers. He didn't give it to me.
I was going to ask, did you receive that high?
No, it was a bum hit, man. It was like, this is not what I paid for. Okay, what is this? Is this baking soda? I was also thinking, one of the things about vampires, about the monster, the vampire, there's so many different types of vampires out there. There's the sexy vampire. There's the regal vampire.
Oh, yeah.
There's the monstrous demon from hell vampire. So all kinds of different vampires. My favorite is the monster from hell vampire that doesn't give a fuck what they look like, right? They don't sparkle. They're just there to damn your soul to hell.
Yeah.
And also, So I'm currently writing my second novel, which is a vampire novel.
Ooh.
And it dawned on me. What I love about the vampire is not that they attack. It's not that they get staked through the heart and there's blood spurting. It's not that they turn into a bat. It's not the action, right? It's the fact that they visit you. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the vampire is a monster that visits you. And that alone chills my blood, right? A slasher doesn't visit you. The slasher smashes through the door with a knife. He's pulling down drapes. The werewolf will smash through windows. The vampire will politely knock and ask to be let in to visit.
Yes, that is chilling.
It's fucking terrifying.
They want an invite.
Yes, they will lightly rap on the window and call your name.
And they will RSVP.
Yeah, excellent description of vampires. I also love vampires because the metaphor of the monster can be applied and used for so many different purposes. Like you can have sort of like an undertone of like drug addiction, or like, just like a straight up demon. So it's like a monster that can be applied in so many different areas where people feel anxious, people feel scared. I love the vampire genre as well. However, Elise and I realized that vampires might be one of our blind spots, especially the classic vampire movies.
We've seen quite a bit from the 90s and 80s, but the classic
that's why I'm here to educate you.
Yes,
we did ask you for a list of your favorite vampires movies, and they are in this bucket.
Okay.
And we had to do some homework, and we had to watch about 5 of them. You sent us, I think, a list of 7, and we had to watch about 5.
So those are in there. There are some probably very well-known or historically popular vampire movies that we may or may not have included, as well as some that we know. So when we're choosing out of the bucket, there might be some like really serious vampire movies, and there might be some that are
some silly ones,
a little bit more silly.
I will say there are only 25 and many, many vampire movies out there. So anyone who's watching or listening, if your favorite is not in here, I'm sorry. Also, there are no sparkly vampires in this bucket. Just to let you know.
Oh, that's kind of a spoiler.
It is a spoiler.
I was waiting for Twilight.
I don't want you to be let down if you're waiting for that sparkly vampire. He didn't make it into the lifeboat or island, so he can go somewhere else.
We throw him back in the ocean.
Sorry, he's in the ocean. All right, so Erik, you're going to start.
All right, let's get into it.
For our first 2 vampires, we have Let the Right One In from 2008, the Swedish film directed by Thomas Alfredson, and Vamp from 1986 with Grace Jones. Which one?
Oh, that's actually a pretty decent matchup because Vamp is cool. Like Grace Jones is awesome as a vampire. Vamp has a very sinister undertone to it. It's got some great vampire designs. It all takes place in a strip club in a city that seems to be where nobody lives except vampires. It's got a great atmosphere, but I'm going with Let the Right One In.
I saw that one coming a mile away. Saw that curveball coming.
I do like the plug though for Vamp. Okay, I had a copy of Vamp back when I was a teenager and I lost it. I feel like one of my parents threw it away. I was
they didn't want you to watch it.
What is this?
No, Let the Right One In is one of the greatest vampire films in the 20th century.
Oh, incredible.
21st century. And it has, like I said, with Vamp's atmosphere, Let the Right One In, it's bleak. You feel that cold. And the relationship between the little girl and the boy, Oscar, it is amazing to watch this connection that they have. And, of Oscar's getting abused at school, and he starts to make a friend with a vampire who lives in his apartment complex. And it has some great scenes, some great vampire scenes. There's a scene in the pool, which will go down as one of the greatest vampire scenes ever filmed.
Amazing.
And I have to say, I cried during that scene.
Another movie she cried during. Also, it should be known that this is a movie that neither Elise nor I had seen until until this episode.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those movies that we had been like just saving. Like it's been recommended to us since it came out, basically. And for whatever reason, it's like we just didn't get around to watching it.
I have a tendency to save movies that I think are going to be good and they don't watch them.
That ends up happening. But we did watch it a few days ago, and man, it was incredible.
It was really good.
Yeah. It's really good. Don't watch the remake. Is not bad, but it's not as good as the original. So stick with the original.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, awesome first
Good
pick.
choice.
All right, so I will choose now, and hopefully you can see our pumpkin bucket. Sometimes we use a cauldron.
Lost the cauldron.
Okay, so it's your turn now, Elise. Okay, so Elise, you have 2 vampire movies that you are going to choose from. Your choices are Bram Stoker's Dracula from 1992, which we all know for the horrible English accents by Keanu Reeves and some really cool fashion.
He tried.
And Fright Night from 1985, directed by Tom Holland, starring Chris Sarandon.
Ooh, Chris Sarandon.
I have like another, just like before you decide, horrible admission. And I have not seen Fright Night, and I have not seen the entirety of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes, you have.
I've seen chunks of it. And I think I've seen the whole movie if you like add up the chunks, but I don't think I've just like sat down and actually watched it. Well, but I've seen the Fright Night remake, which is equally pathetic. Take away my vampire card, Eric.
Oh man, Tony, what are you doing here, man?
I don't know. I'm a zombie guy.
He is a zombie guy. It's true.
But that's good because this is Elisa's choice, because I was actually like sweating getting that choice. I'm like,
Well, I know that Bram Stoker's Dracula from 1992 is a favorite amongst many. It's not one of mine. I don't like it. The times that I've watched it or tried to watch it, I'm just like, nope, I still don't like it. Oof. Yeah, I'm going to say no to Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I'm taking Fright Night.
Wow. All right.
That's a decent choice. Fright Night is awesome. I love that movie.
Yeah. Okay. And disclosure for myself, I have only seen half of it, but
oh man, that's it.
You guys, man.
Eric's like, I'm turning this off. I'm leaving this.
Can you tell us about these movies, Eric? Maybe we should just give you all the choices.
Man, I hope there are movies you guys have seen. And otherwise, it's like, yeah, I've only watched.
Wouldn't that be funny if we haven't seen any of these? No, that's not true. But the half that I have seen, I did enjoy, and I like Chris Sarandon as
Fright Night is super cool, man. It's a slice of 80s, but yeah, man, it's awesome.
And it has what's her name from Married with Children? The neighbor,
Amanda Barnes, I think her name was.
Yeah, sure. I was like, oh, that's the neighbor from Married with Children.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I just know the Colin Farrell version, and oh man, masterpiece. Just kidding. That was.
All right, Tony.
I'm curious. Oh, can I ask about the rules? Does Bram Stoker go back into the bucket, or is he gone forever?
No.
So he's not in the bucket, but he's off to the side, so he can stay for your wild card.
I'm writing down the ones that get put into the side.
Yeah.
Because so later on, I could pull Bram Stoker if I wanted.
You could.
He
could be your wild card. Exactly.
Okay.
Your lifeboat. Yeah.
We'll have the
not that I'm going to, but I just want to.
Yeah. These are all DVDs and VHS copies that are just floating in the ocean, and you're paddling to shore, and you can just grab whichever you want.
You've got a net.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And we will recap the ones that are off to the side at the very end.
All right.
I should also disclose that, while I haven't seen all of Bram Stoker's Dracula, I have read the novel. So.
That's true. We've read.
So maybe that gives me a little bit more vampire cred. So yeah.
Well, I think because I have read the novel, when I watched that one, I was like, nah.
All right. What are my choices?
Tony.
Please tell me I've seen one of these.
I'm sad that Tony has these choices. Okay. You have 1979 Salem's Lot.
Oh, Eric.
Oh, Tony, do the right thing, man. Do the right thing.
And 1994's Interview with the Vampire.
Wow.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy, dude. Easy.
Oh my goodness.
No, there's no oh my goodness.
Yes, there is, Eric.
Here's the thing about this showdown game.
Don't
Sometimes you get these brutal showdown where it's like two of the best vampire movies.
Are you going to pick Erik's favorite or my favorite?
No. Are you going to get a divorce? Or
no.
What's going to happen on this episode?
Oh, man. Oh, now I'm sweating for sure.
Man, this is
It's
tough.
the lights. It's the lights.
All right. So
Don't worry.
Salem's Lot probably has some of the scariest vampire scenes ever filmed. The little boy wrapping
That
at
is
the
correct.
door.
That's scary.
But also, like, actually, you know what I always found that was scarier was the I can't remember the name of the character, but like the man who's sitting in the chairs with like the glowing eyes.
Yes.
Mike Ryerson.
Oh man, that is frightening. That is truly
That's
frightening.
actually my favorite moment.
Yeah.
In the miniseries.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's such a good movie. It is a longer movie, so
And I
feel
talk
like,
about that in Death Machine, by the way. That scene.
Okay, nice.
Another plug for my novel.
We love the plugs.
I have heard you talk about Salem's Lot quite a bit listening to your podcast. So I do know that this is one of your favorite movies. So, oh man, I'm sorry, Erik. I'm going to have to go with Interview with the Vampire.
That's okay. Guess what's going to be my wild card?
So easy. Oh man.
I'm actually surprised.
Well, tell me why you like Interview.
Interview with the Vampire is one of those movies that is endlessly rewatchable. It is just like, it's got all the emotions in it, and it's got the sadness. It's got like all of the undertones of this sort of like, there's like the LGBTQ, like the relationship between like Louis and the scene of like when they're in that pit being like sentenced to death by sunlight is like, there's so many parts of that movie that are just incredible. So
and I will say it's one of my childhood movies. I watched this countless times with my cousins when we were like, I would go to their house and watch horror movies. That's what I did. And this was one, Halloween was one, Leprechaun. Those were like the trifecta of what we would watch every time. So I think for me, it's like a huge nostalgic aspect of it.
yeah, we are 90s kids
We're
too.
90s
So
kids.
there's
We're
very
more
big
cognizant
nostalgia.
in the 90s.
No, it's definitely a good movie. I like Interview with the Vampire, and I would pick it
if it wasn't against.
if another one was up against it. But with Salem's Lot, I'd pick Salem's Lot over Citizen Kane. Like
I know you would. Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Salem's Lot always wins, no matter what.
Dang.
Period.
All right, moving along to now it's your pick.
Is it my pick?
Yes,
Your pick,
Erik,
yeah.
You
Okay, back
have
up.
1987's Lost Boys and 1971's The Return of Count Yorga.
Oh man, Count Yorga and Lost Boys. I do have a lot of love for Lost Boys. Saw it in theaters when it came out in '87. Couldn't wait because I was the same age as Corey Haim. I related so much to that character. He loved comic books. I loved comic books.
That's me.
All right. The Frog Brothers worked in a comic book store. They knew how to kill vampires. I knew how to kill vampires. It had very cool Keith Sutherland in it. I mean, those vampires were awesome. Santa Cruz is right down the street from my house. I've been there. I've been to that roller coaster. And then The Return of Count Yorga is one of those movies I was telling you about. As a kid, I would watch The Return of Count Yorga, and it scared the fuck out of me. It was so scary. There's one scene in particular in Count Yorga that kind of echoes the Manson family murders.
Yes.
I was saying that to Tony. We watched it last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, what year or how long after the Manson family murders did this come out? And we like had to look it up.
Like a couple of years after. It was like, it was 71, I think, that the Count Yorga came out. And that just unnerved me.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe I was watching this as a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
So,
The way that
there's a
he
lot of
attacks his
nostalgia.
victims too, he just like straight sprints at them into a chokehold.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary.
He charges.
But there are some cheesy moments, like some of the vampire women that when they're they do have these kind of
They
teeth.
do.
Like,
they are
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Watch the movie. That's what they're using. So
the beehive haircuts are like the big bouffant or whatever. The big
although I do love Count Yorga, definitely go with Lost Boys.
All right. And I'm wearing a Lost Boys t-shirt. Just that's my vampire movie.
So
Even though you betray me in Sam's Lot, I'm not going to betray you, Tony.
Tony,
I'm sorry, Erik. I'm sorry. I knew you grab it on the lifeboat. I put it really close to your lifeboat.
Don't worry, man. I got it.
All right. So, Elise, you get the choice between... Wow, that's a lot of words on there. Okay. Okay. The original 1931 Dracula with Bela Lugosi, or From Dusk Till Dawn from 96, directed by Robert Rodriguez, George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, Harvey Keitel, Juliette Lewis. A classic.
It is a classic. Oh man. Okay, I don't love all of the Bela Lugosi Dracula movie. There were, and it's of its time, it's a little bit, it's cheesier, a little dated. But I do love Bela Lugosi as Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the guy that plays his Renfield person, that little laugh that he does, that like
Dwight Fry.
Yes, it's such a creepy laugh. I love all the scenes with Bela Lugosi and Dwight Fry. Those are really good moments.
It's one of the foundational horror movies of all time.
Yeah, but From Dusk Till Dawn is just so stylish and fun, and things blow up.
Someone's rolling in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's rolling over in their grave right now. But Eric, these are the movies that we are going to be watching on our desert island over and over again.
Yes.
I feel you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with From Dusk Till Dawn.
I had a feeling. Dusk Till Dawn. Sorry, Bella.
Salma Hayek with that python. She did a good job. She deserves some accolades there.
You know what? I have seen both of these movies. Dracula, 1931, or is it 33? 31? 31. For a modern audience, it might be hard to get through, but you can appreciate it, even if the movie itself is maybe not up to the standards of a modern moviegoer. And some of the artistry and the shots and the shadows and the sets are like pretty incredible.
Tony, ooh. You have a choice between 1997's The Night Flyer, starring Miguel Ferrer, which we just watched, and 1987's Near Dark, directed by Catherine
man,
Bigelow.
is this Eric? Are you going to take away my Gravedigger pin after this chat?
I mean, actually, either one you pick, I don't think you can go wrong. I like both. But have you seen them? You haven't seen them?
Yeah, we watched Night Flyer today, actually, because we were trying to just do a little bit more research on vampire
And when
films.
you were talking about earlier about the monstrous type of vampire, it's like, ooh, Night Flyer has like a gnarly, gross, monstrous vampire.
That is true, yeah. And that scene, like when it's sort of near the end,
when
in the fog and the mist in black and white, that's an incredible scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But you haven't seen Near Dark.
We have.
I have seen Near Dark.
Oh, you have.
Also, just like a classic vampire tale. It's gritty. It's like, man, there's so much to love about that. Catherine Bigelow.
And such like a nice cast of characters.
Yeah.
Like this like little like almost breakfast club of vampires.
Yeah. So once again, I am sorry, Eric, here. I'll start taking off my Gravedigger pin.
No,
he
said you can't go
I'm going to go with Near Dark, 1987.
Hey, man. No, I can't fault you. I can't fault you there. I'd probably go with Near Dark, too.
Yeah.
But Night Flyer was an awesome film, and I really appreciate the recommendation on that one. So I'm really glad that we got to check that out. Eric, you are up. You're next, and your choices are from 1958, Horror of Dracula with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, a classic. And from 1972, Blackula, directed by William Crane.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good showdown right there.
I love both of these films. Horror of Dracula was probably one of the first full-color vampire films, Dracula films from Hammer in 1958. Hammer, of course, is known for the blood, right? They've really brought in the gore to the horror genre. And Horror Dracula delivers. I mean, the opening shot is just Dracula's coffin, his tomb. And then all of a sudden this bright red Technicolor blood starts spilling out on the tomb, and it's like, this is what you're in for, man.
You mean an accurate representation of what blood actually looks like when it leaves the body?
It's like paint. Exactly. Oh, red paint. And then of course you have Christopher Lee, iconic performance, a role that he defined the rest of his career for good or bad. I think he tried to escape it, but then towards the end he's like, fuck it, I'm Dracula. Whatever.
Just embraced it.
Love that.
And his Dracula was a man of few words, but he had a viciousness about him. He had this just ferocious like sex appeal where he was just like, come here, woman, I'm going to bite your neck, right?
Yeah.
And the women were like, okay.
You're so tall and lanky, yes.
And then Blackula, William Marshall is one of the greatest actors out there. He's a Shakespearean actor, and he brings such gravitas to the character of Prince Mabawaldi. And he took that role really seriously. He brought in the slave stuff that they threw into the movie. It originally wasn't written in that he was trying to free slaves from Count Dracula. Because of course Count Dracula is a slave trader, right? White bastard. But so Prince Mabawaldi shows up to free the slaves, and Dracula's like, no, I will curse you as Blackula, right? And Blackula has some legit scares in it. There's a scene I always love is when they're digging up a coffin of somebody they think might be a vampire, right? They're like, we have to prove that this vampire shit is fake, right? So let's dig up this body and I'll show you. He's in there, right? He's dead. So they're digging him up and it's spooky and stuff. And they open the coffin. The vampire pops out. He's got like this blue face. And he's like, that was so scary when I was a kid. I loved that. But I'm going to go with Horror of Dracula.
Oh, another curveball. You had me.
I know. I'm like, okay, Blackula's coming. But I love Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing both in that movie. They're both just so stoic, and they have this presence that you just want to watch them, even though they're not doing very much. They're kind of just talking, and you're just like, oh, talk more. Yeah, good choice.
Yeah. Good choice.
Cool. Thank you.
We got a classic in there. Sorry, we went with Christopher Lee over Bela Lugosi, unfortunately.
Sorry, Bella.
Sorry, Bella.
I have a Meow House shirt on to honor
for Bella, yeah.
Bella Meowsy.
Okay, so Elise, you are up next. Your choices are... There are two choices on this one card.
Oh, man.
So I'm just going to... Well, what I'm going to do is I didn't see this one.
Okay.
This is a technical error, but that's okay. There's two choices on this one card, and that's what I saw first, so that's what we're going with.
Okay.
Okay, your choices are between 1998's John Carpenter's Vampires, starring James Woods, which we actually talked about on your podcast.
Yes, you did.
On your pod.
Episode's coming out soon.
Yeah, so excited to see that. Actually, that's probably the perfect
episode.
plug. Yeah, we'll definitely have the link for that in our show notes for sure. And then you have your other choices going to be from 2007, starring Josh Hartnett, 30 Days of Night.
Okay. Well, not to spoil our conversation on vampires coming up on Erik's show, but I didn't like it.
There's a good chance that this will be released after that episode's released.
That's true. That's very
people
true.
can listen to the episode on Cradle to the Grave and then come to watch this episode.
Yeah. So it's an easy choice for me. I actually do like 30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett. It's an interesting setting, and I do like the creepy vampires on this or in this setting, and they have like these blackened eyes and these really sharp, gnarly teeth, and I don't know what they're speaking. They're speaking like an ancient language, and it's really creepy. And there are some really good scares in that one. So easy for me. 30 Days of Night.
Yeah, they're like fast. They're ferocious.
Yeah,
they do have a zombie-like quality. I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
Although I liked John Carpenter's Vampires. I thought it was cool.
It's fun. It's a fun, goofy movie. But 30 Days of Night, it takes itself a little more seriously.
Yeah.
And it has a really awesome premise, where a town in Alaska experiences, this is real, 30 days of darkness. Mm-hmm. And what a great, if I was a vampire, that's where I'd be going.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And you know what else I appreciate about that choice is we're starting to round out our different types of vampires. So we have the Christopher Lee, the classics. We have this sort of ferocious vampire. We have one that's sort of like an action, kind of cool, the Robert Rodriguez.
Now I'm regretting choosing the Robert Rodriguez over Bela Lugosi.
Hey, there's still the lifeboat.
There's no take backs.
That's why we have the lifeboat. It's out there floating in the ocean for you to grab.
Oh, sorry, Bella.
So this is my last choice here.
All right, your last choice.
Ready
is
for this?
Between 2014's What We Do in the Shadows, directed by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement, or 1992's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, written by Joss Whedon, starring Christy Swanson and Donald Sutherland.
Oh, man. Okay. So like I said, we are rounding out the different types of vampire movies. Vampires exist as like pure horror or like goofy comedy and teenager film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Man. Okay. What We Do in the Shadows is probably my favorite TV show, like horror-ish TV show,
so
comedy.
This is for the movie though.
I know. I realize that. And I'm like trying to, like, the more I think about it, I'm thinking, do I remember the movie version as much as I do the TV show version? Has it surpassed the movie? And then Buffy the Vampire Slayer is like one of those guilty pleasure movies where if you watch it, it's not good, but a lot of people like it for so many reasons. And I loved this movie growing up. I watched it all the time. It has one of the best death scenes. I mean, the stupidest death scenes ever. The Paul Rubens character. That death scene. Yeah, you have the little cameos by like Ben Affleck.
What?
Yeah, he's like a random basketball player or something like that. But you know what? I'm trying to throw an Erik curveball. I'm going to go with What We Do in the Shadows because that is not only is it an awesome vampire movie, but it's funny as hell. And I feel like we're going to need a little bit of comedy after watching all of these really dark and depressing.
Both horror comedies.
Yeah, trust me, I love Buffy. If this was a TV showdown and it was between Buffy, the TV show, versus What We Do in the Shadows TV show, I'm taking Buffy all day long. But it's actually interesting that these two came up as the movie versions and they both have TV versions.
Yeah. All right. So What We Do in the Shadows makes it and Buffy gets kicked into the ocean.
Yeah. I can still grab Buffy for my lifeboat. That might be my lifeboat choice. I don't know.
All right.
And now we've made it to the final round. Erik, you get the last choice before we get into lifeboats.
And then we'll have 5 left in the bucket and I'll read what those are after. Okay. All right. Erik, for your last official choice, we have from 1972, The Night Stalker with Darren McGavin versus 1922's Nosferatu.
The Night Stalker, 1972.
No curveballs there.
Wow.
That was my fastball.
Wow. Okay.
My head just like whiplashed.
Okay. Just a little side note. I almost didn't include that one because I was like, we have too many movies in this bucket. And Tony's like, you have to. That's like Erik's favorite.
Yes, Tony was right. Tony, you redeemed yourself.
I'm a diehard fan. I've been listening since the 70s on your podcast.
Exactly.
I love The Night Stalker 1972 made-for-TV movie. It's one of the first vampire movies that takes place in modern day. Before The Night Stalker came out, they were all the Dracula vampire movies usually took place in like the Gothic setting with castles and the cape, and good evening, right? The Night Stalker took place in 1970s Las Vegas. And it had an incredible performance by Darren McGavin as Kolchak, this tenacious news reporter who was going to get to the story. He didn't believe this was a vampire. Is this some joke or thought he was Dracula, right? I love that premise. And turns out it was a vampire. And so Darren McGavin does what it takes to defeat the vampire in a really awesome, spooky showdown at the end where he gets into the vampire's house, his lair, and there's a lady that the vampire is using as a blood bank. It's gnarly, man. It's horrific. And it also set the stage for the X-Files, which came a couple decades later. Chris Carter will cite the inspiration for Scully and Mulder is Carl Kolchak. So The Night Stalker was really influential. It's underpraised, and I'm here to praise it. I'll pick The Night Stalker over Nosferatu 1922, which is one of the best vampire movies ever made, right?
I love that. Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
I have a tattoo of Nosferatu.
Wow.
Wow.
No way.
With the tattoo, still kicked him in the ocean. Dang.
No way. Wow.
That shows you my love for Carl Kolchak. I can't let Kolchak down.
We are sold then. This is the only movie on the list that you sent us that we did not watch. For our homework.
For those watching on YouTube, this is a write-in. So because we forgot to type it up.
Because I forgot to actually type it up.
But don't worry, Eric. See, I got your back. Yes.
Redeemed on the island.
Hopefully redeemed.
Don't have to go to different corners of the island. Okay, so before we review what did not make it, I'm going to quickly review what did make it. We are officially bringing 2008's Let the Right One In, 1985's Fright Night, 1994's Interview with the Vampire, 1987's Lost Boys, 1996's From Dusk Till Dawn, 1987's Near Dark, 1958's Horror of Dracula, 2007, 30 Days of Night, and 2014's What We Do in the Shadows, and finally, 1972's The Night Stalker.
You know what? That is an awesome list and very well-rounded.
That's a party right there.
That's a party.
And we still get 3 lifeboat choices.
We each get a wild card.
Yeah, this is when when we make these lists, I'm like, how do I just start swimming out to the island like right now? I want to get over there.
In addition to the ones that got discarded, the other ones in the running for the wild card are Blade from 1998.
Nice.
The Hunger from 1983. Sinners from 2025.
Nice.
The Last Man on Earth from 1964.
Love that one.
Love that one, yeah.
Only Lovers Left Alive from 2013. I like that one. And Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person from 2023.
Never saw that one.
That's an Elise pick for sure.
That is my pick.
I'm surprised you didn't put Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
My list was getting too long.
There's too many. We're gonna have to do a part 2 of this.
I had to.
Hey, I'm down for part 2.
Yeah.
Eric, would you like to choose your lifeboat wild card first, or would you like the last laugh on this island?
Salem's Lot.
He's ready to go.
My answer is Salem's Lot, Tony.
Got it.
I'm not messing around.
It's
nice. He is not messing around.
With me. It's coming on
Salem's Lot is
Nice.
there. I love that choice, and I fully agree with that choice.
Salem's Lot, the remake. Just kidding.
Okay.
Oh, the 2004 Salem's Lot with Rob Lowe.
We threw the curveball.
Oh man, cold-blooded, man. Cold-blooded.
It's brutal out here.
Blood puns.
Okay, Elise, what is your lifeboat choice? What's coming with us to our vampire desert island? Or you could pass, because I know mine too. I'm very confident about mine.
Go, Tony. Tony, go.
Okay, I'm taking 1998's Blade. That is one of my childhood movies.
With the
Gotta have some action. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, some action. Wesley Snipes. It's just a movie that I grew up watching over and over and over again. So it holds that nostalgic value for me. I was just a freshman in high school when it came out. I don't know if I saw it in theaters, but I know that this was in heavy rotation in the video rental store. And it was on TV probably like every day for like a decade. So I'm going with Wesley.
Okay.
Like it. I like it.
Now for mine, I did really enjoy Sinners and Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. However, they're too new for me to bring onto an island forever. I need them to like sit with me longer. I'm gonna bring, and I don't care if I'm watching this by myself, but
I'm nervous.
I'm bringing Only
Twilight.
Lovers. Twilight, write-in ballot. No, I'm bringing Only Lovers Left Alive with Tilda Swinton, Tom Hiddleston, directed by Jim Jarmusch. Yes.
You know, sometimes we choose movies based off of their soundtrack because we're like, we're on a desert island, nothing to do. If it's got a good soundtrack, we can just listen to the soundtrack in the
dance
background.
Party. Yeah.
That's why you chose Blade, huh? Because it got that one.
It's got that
blood rave.
The blood rave, yeah.
We're gonna blood rave, and we're gonna get all brooding and dancing to Tom Hiddleston's music.
No, it is gonna be awesome, man.
It's gonna be great.
All
Awesome.
right. I'm feeling really good about this list. Eric, how are you feeling about this list?
I'm feeling good. Except for Only Lovers Left Alive.
How
But other
dare
than that,
you.
it's solid.
Tilda is an icon.
And so sad. Bella Lugosi and Nosferatu have been left off the island.
I know that was. I didn't see that coming. Actually, I got to be honest. I thought Nosferatu would be on the list, but when you pit it against a Night Stalker, then I had no choice.
Yeah, you know, this is a brutal game, and it's hard out there. You know, this is a cutthroat. Yeah,
it is a cutthroat game. Awesome. Thank you, Erik, for being our first guest on a Desert Island episode.
Yeah, Desert Island Showdown.
And tell everyone where we can find your podcast or your novels or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, I'm one of the most worst promoters of my podcast. I'm only on Instagram.
Cool.
Right? But if you go to like your Google, if you like Google Cradle to the Grave podcast, I will pop up on there. And it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Just Google Cradle to the Grave. And there I'm at. And if, follow me on Instagram, I'm always posting some fun shit on Instagram, doing fun things like this 1982 movie a day live chat I've been doing for the month of June. It's been super fun, which you can only see on Instagram. So,
yeah.
Death Machine is available on Amazon. Just again, Google Death Machine by Erik Hanson and it'll pop up. And if you don't want to buy through Amazon, you can buy through me. Personally, just send me an email through Cradle to the Grave and I'll send you a signed copy like I signed Elise and Tony.
Yeah, and that's how we did it. We reached out to him on Instagram and he graciously, actually very quickly sent out the
I don't book. Mess around, man.
Yeah, we
send me the money, you get the goods.
Yeah, we love that. And we're so excited to finish Death Machine and just like, so excited for all of the cool things you're doing on the podcast. We are avid listeners. Hoping to maybe get a Stephen Bissett episode one day. Just putting that out there.
With Bissett. Yeah, man. Bissett.
He's like, such a wealth of knowledge, man.
He's the best. He's the best.
Yeah. So many great guests on your show. And I love just all of the fun. It's because you don't know what you're going to expect episode to episode. Every guest has their own take. And their own stories. And that's what kind of makes the show great. So we'll leave your show link in our show notes and we'll blast it all over our social media. We also only really do Instagram and Threads, but I feel like that's like by default.
We do Threads.
Yeah. It's almost like a Threads and Facebook, just like auto posts, but we don't really ever check that. So
Also not very good podcast promoters over here. But hey, working on it.
It's tough, man. I mean, I got a day job and stuff. So like
it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It is. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for being on our show. It's been a blast talking vampires.
Thank you guys.
Yes. I feel like we should start calling you Count Hanson or something like that.
Oh, Count Hanson. I like it. I'll take it.
Count Hanson. Love it. Thank you so much, Erik. Have a wonderful rest of your day, your week. Your final Instagram live episode tomorrow. Have fun.
Talking about the movie Tootsie of all movies.
Ooh, nice.
As further away from horror as you can get.
Yeah.
Tootsie, with Dustin Hoffman.
But a good one.
Go. A good one. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, we will let you go. And it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Right on.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Erik.
All right.
Bye.
Why, he's mad. Look at his eyes.
All right. Thank you for tuning into our conversation about vampires and our Vampire Desert Island with Erik Hanson from Cradle to the Grave podcast. Remember to check out his podcast on Spotify and wherever else you get your podcasts. He is also on Instagram and you can message him to purchase a copy of his novel, Death Machine. It will blow you away after just the first chapter.
We will also leave a link to all of Erik's social media and where you can find his podcast in our show notes of this episode.
And also for us, don't forget to like or subscribe if you enjoyed today's podcast. Give us a rating. That would be cool.
We are on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, check out Elise's movie reviews on Letterboxd, and that one's at Gutted Horror on Letterboxd.
Yep, just Gutted Horror. Also, did we kick any of your favorite vampire movies to the ocean, into the vampire shark mouths?
Are you sad that Nosferatu or Bela Lugosi's Dracula did not make it onto the island?
Which one would have gotten your wild card? And which one, if we hadn't mentioned it at all, would have definitely made it onto your island?
Which one are you kicking off our island to make room for your favorite vampire movie?
Is there only lovers left alive? I hope not. I left that one.
All right. Thank you so much for watching and or listening.
This has been another episode of
Gutted.